With that being said, how did all this start, bro? You came a long way with Braille. You the #1 skate YouTube channel.
The #1 skate YouTube channel.
Yeah. So how did all
That's
that
hard to
happen?
believe.
Yeah.
You want me to go? You want me to tell the whole story?
I really want to know how that happened. I really don't know.
Okay, this is a long story.
Go
You want me to tell you the whole thing?
How long is it?
I'm warning you. He's like, okay, hold on. I'm going to grab my water, and then I'm going to tell you the whole story.
By the way, my mic's broke. I mean, my tripod stand broke out, so I got to hold this mic now, which I don't know why the hell it costs $100-something for that mic stand just to break, but whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the history, the entire history.
Let's get it.
And if any of you are watching this and you already know the history, I'm sorry, but here's the history again. Well, I grew up in Montana in a very, very small town.
Okay.
We're going all the way back there.
What was the town called?
Town called Red Lodge.
Okay.
Yeah, Red Lodge,
Sounds small.
Montana. Shout out Red Lodge, Montana. There's about 2,000 people in this town. It's in the middle of the mountains, in the middle of nowhere in Montana. It's heavy snow. So every summer we would skateboard. Every winter we would snowboard. And this is where I started skateboarding. I fell in love with skateboarding.
Okay.
So I'm doing that. And then, wow. Okay. So then in this town, Billings, Montana, they have a Bones Brigade, not Bones Brigade, but like Bones Wheels demo. And I go there and Javier Sarmiento is there. You know who he is?
No.
He's super sick skater.
It's like a pool skater or something?
No, he's a street skater. Like there's
You know
like
who
a,
that is?
this is, yeah.
My bad, y'all.
This
know
this
shit.
is like in the street. And there's like a bump to like ledge, like pretty high ledge, like that high.
Yeah.
And he back nose blunts it.
Damn.
Like, yeah. And this was in like 2000.
Okay.
This is 24 years ago.
Yeah.
And no, actually, wait, what am I saying?
That's
This
crazy,
is
24
this is even way longer than that.
Damn.
This is probably in 1990 something, because we're going way, way back to my very, very first sponsor. Okay, so then I go there, and I'm this little kid, right?
Yeah, how old
So,
are you?
so I was probably 14.
Okay.
So let's see, I was born in 83, so it was probably around 97.
Okay.
And I do a big spin tail grab. That was my trick.
That's a difficult ass trick. Yeah, I mean,
Kind of a funny, silly trick, but like off a launch ramp as a little kid, I did this big spin tail grab. And the team manager of Bone said, okay, I'm going to give you wheels. And I was like, no way, wheels, let's go.
hell yeah.
My very first sponsor. And it was so funny because they would send me wheels every month. And then in the winter, you can't skate at all.
Damn.
So by the end of the winter, I would literally had like a garbage bag full of wheels.
Would you ever give them away?
Yeah,
to
totally
fans?
give them away.
Hell
Like
yeah.
everybody had the wheels, and they were good wheels too. Bones wheels.
Yeah.
Shout out Bones wheels.
Yeah,
So
I like
good.
those wheels. This is cool.
And yeah, so then I was like, I'm gonna try to make a crack at professional skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like every little kid who started out and got a skateboard and thought, this is the funnest thing ever, so cool. So then I went on a trip with my friends to Vancouver, British Columbia. And they...
As far as hell.
Yeah, and yeah, it is. And there's really good spots there. And so then when I graduated high school, I had really good grades in high school. So then I was like, I'm going to University of British Columbia, which is a very hard school to get into. And it's really, really hard for Americans to get into. But that was,
bet.
I wanted to move there because I knew street spots were there. And that's about, honestly, that's about all I knew about it.
They have good street spots out there?
They
like that?
had really, really good street spots out there.
Skatopia out there?
No, like
it's called Skatopia, right? The crazy, rugged.
no, that's not. That's like in America somewhere,
Oh, I
like
thought that
middle
was
of
out
nowhere.
there.
But no, Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada, up in Canada. It has this really sick plaza, but back then it was just street spot heaven.
I bet.
There was just tons of street spots. It was like back in the heyday of like Rick McCrank. In fact, I go there and I go to this.
I don't even know.
You do
Am I
not.
tripping? Am I tripping
Please
right now?
tell me you do not know who Rick
It sounds
McCrank is.
familiar. I must.
What?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, no, I know who he is. My fault. Yeah, go ahead.
Rick McCrank, legend. So one of the first days I arrived there, so I ended up getting into the school. It was very difficult to get into, and I'm just super stoked. And basically all I did was went up there and skate. I didn't even go to class. I just skated, Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad.
I mean, no, sorry. Look at you now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually a good thing.
So I was there for 1 year, and I was there for film. So my two passions in life were skateboarding and film.
Okay.
Which you can kind of fast forward, you can kind of see where that went. But I was there for 1 year, and then I dropped out of school. But I was telling about Rick McCrank. So I'm this little kid. Well, at this time, I'm 18. And I show up at the skate park, and it's like a big pyramid with like up, flat, down. And he's airing over the pyramid to like grinding down the bottom of like insane. This is like a 8-foot, 10-foot flat, and he's just like nothing. And I'm like, what in the world? Imagine you're a little kid and you think, I'm going to be a professional skateboarder. And you go to the skate park and you see Rick McCrank doing that.
I was seeing that shit in L.A.
Yeah.
As a little kid.
But then didn't you feel like, oh, maybe not?
Yeah. No, it actually motivated me a little bit, but it didn't work out. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyways, it also is very motivating. You're right. But it's also like, it's almost a culture shock.
Yeah.
And you see that in real life. You're almost like, what in the world is occurring here? Yeah. So I went there for a year, and then I was like, okay, now I have to pursue skateboarding. If I don't, I'm never going to let myself live that down. So in Canada, so I was riding for Bones Wheels, and then I got on Volcom Clothing.
Amazing.
And then I was like on Flow for all these companies, right? Yeah. Flow for Circa Footwear. Remember Circa?
I used to love them.
Yeah.
I used to love that shoe company, man. RIP is going now, right?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, RIP Circa.
Wait, I want to ask you, were the packages, like the flow packages, bigger back then than what you see people getting now, you think?
I don't see anybody getting anything now. So what are they like? What are flow packages like now?
Hey, you actually could come over here. We could just share this mic, to be honest. We're going to have Jeff come up in here, y'all. We just hanging out, talking.
When people get shoes, how many shoes do they get?
I don't know. I feel like back when I was younger, I remember seeing Theotis getting like 12 shoes each package, but that was him.
Yeah. See, everybody's a little different too, right? Yeah. But I remember I would get my Circa box, and I would think it would be at least like 5 pairs, maybe like upwards of 8 pairs. Yeah. And I always I'm also completely obsessed with PJ Ladd's Wonderful Horrible Life. I'm obsessed with it.
I know I watched that part, but I can't remember. I'm sorry, bro. I don't even know why I'm doing this podcast. I don't know shit.
When that video part came out, it changed everything. Because I'll tell you why. It was like,
I could see the influence in your skating.
Yeah.
Through him.
Yeah. I mean, that first, it's just like this random kid. You also see he's from Boston, right? Which is not a small town, not like Red Lodge, Montana, which is a very small town. But he's just this seemingly kind of from nowhere. And it was a shop video. And then all of a sudden, this random kid in a shop video just put out the best part in the world. It was insane. Like his opening line, kickflip front tail 270 out in the middle of a ledge.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like going downhill a little bit.
No, it's on straight. Kickflip front tail 270 out in the middle, which nobody at that time. Now people flip in and 270 out all day.
I know they be 3 years old.
But then
don't make no damn
this
sense.
was in 2001, 2002. Then nobody had flipped in and flipped front tail 270 out in the middle. And then he goes and does this gap to front lip, and you're just like instantly first line, best, like what just happened? And then the rest of the part was just so incredible. And then in that part, he only wears black shoes. So since then, I don't know why I'm telling this random story, but
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Then one day I get this Circa box, and I told him like, I only can skate black shoes. Like I could not. Like I couldn't skate if the shoes weren't black. And I still have this a little bit to this day. Now I'll skate like a pair of gray. But yeah, my shoes are always black. Trying. But they sent me, and they would always send me black shoes. And then one time I got a box full of, they were all navy blue.
No.
And I called them out. I said,
that's some shit you would be on too.
I said, I cannot. I said, I'm so sorry. I do not want to be that guy. But can you please send me black ones? And they're actually so sick. Shout out Circa, RIP. But they just sent me all black ones. And actually what I did is I spray painted them black, skated them. Yeah. But then they sent me a new box. And then I had the black shoes.
Damn.
Super random. Okay, so I'm obsessed with PJ Ladd. Yeah. I'm in Canada. And then I decide I'm going to move to San Francisco because San Francisco is the hub of skateboarding for the world, right? If I would have known better,
Is it?
Why San Francisco over Los Angeles or San Diego or something like that?
yeah, thank you for bringing that up. If I would have known better, I would have moved to LA. Should have moved to LA, actually. But okay, so again, I'm from this really small town. I know very little about the skateboard community. I just skateboard. And the only place I know is Vancouver. I go there. The only other place I'd been to was Pier 7. I literally moved here for Pier 7.
It makes sense.
What's Pier 7?
You're killing me.
This is why I'm here.
This is why I needed him here.
You
bro.
know what Pier 7 is.
he
It's the
doesn't.
most, you're a manual skater.
Yeah,
It's the most famous manual spot in the whole
Low
world.
to high mani pad.
In San Francisco.
It's like yay high.
It's the low to high mani pad.
It's right near a pier.
Oh yeah,
You gotta turn into it.
Yeah. I've never skated it.
No way
I
you've
walked
never
past
skated
it though, and I
it.
never skated.
That would honestly.
You would love
kill
it.
that
like
shit.
Yeah.
One of your favorite spots.
Yeah.
Back
we
in
should
the
do a
day-
video there together.
Now it's been like skate stopped and unskate stopped and skate stopped and unskate stopped.
So
So
can you skate it now?
skateboard
you can they've like fully unskate stopped it, so it's back to its almost original condition, but there's like holes and bondo.
I
You're
heard
definitely
It'd be cool to skate that
maneuvering.
with you. I feel like
I
we'd go
heard they're
crazy.
actually like redoing that whole area and they're taking it out soon.
Of course they would.
If you take out Pier 7, I will end the city of San. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. But seriously, Pier 7 is one of the best manual spots in the world. When I came here, I moved to Daly City, got an apartment in Daly City, and it was like I was working at KB Toys, making $8 an hour. It was the hardest struggle of my entire life.
I've been pissed off.
Every day, I just went to Pier 7, and I just did manual tricks all day long.
You didn't look up to like Daewon Song or nothing?
I can 100% look up to Daewon Song, Mark Johnson. PJ Ladd is funny, one, because he's not a big manual skater.
Yeah.
But there was a point when I was a kid, when I was young, all I did was jump. I would do, I'm going to kickflip. You know, we had this 5-stair in my hometown, and every day I went there, I had to kickflip it. I wouldn't leave unless I kickflipped it.
Discipline.
Yeah, and then I got that down, and then I kickflipped a 5-stair and a 7-stair. I think my biggest trick was like I had varial flipped a 7-stair, and there wasn't that much runway. And this is in Montana, it's a bit rugged, and I was so proud of that, right? And then my friends who skated that were older were kind of telling me like, dude, you need to you can't have a career and just jump forever. So do the ledges. Jeffrey.
It's right here.
So then I kind of was like, okay, well, let me see about the ledge skating. And then I just completely fell in love with the manuals.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, they are
love
really
manuals.
fun.
Yeah.
But some people find them so frustrating.
You have to be patient.
Fun
Yeah.
is a one word for it. They're fun when you land them.
They are fun when you land them. And sometimes it takes a really, really long time. Okay, so I'm in San Francisco. I'm
Yeah.
skating. And the sponsors were Thunder Trucks,
Okay.
Bones Wheels. I was on Flow for Habitat. And then one day, I stopped getting boxes from Habitat. Oh, yeah, and Circa and Volcom.
They just stopped giving you boxes without telling you? Or?
Yeah.
That's some fuck
Which would happen a lot, honestly, and it wasn't their fault.
Okay.
So I'll tell you the story. Like I'm getting boxes from them, and I'm in talking to the team manager. So back in the day, I mean I don't know what it was like for you, but back in the day for me, it was literally you make your video and you send it in to the team manager. This is like I would send in VHS tapes. This is how long ago we're
Oh,
going.
you would be mailing it.
Mail a VHS tape, and then
I had the
after that,
internet.
I would mail the DVD. And the DVD would write in black marker, Aaron Kyro sponsored me video, mail DVD.
That's tight though.
And then you call.
Hey, I'm trying to reach the team manager. Yeah, this is Aaron. I'm just seeing if he got my sponsor me video.
Just
Can you
telling them
imagine?
this? Yeah. I feel it.
It's a whole different world now.
I mean, I used to just send links.
That's what it is now, links.
Yeah,
mean-
now you send the link.
When I was on Element, they would always see my shit on, remember Heliclips?
Yeah,
They would always post everything. So I'm just like, because I would never just like stack footage like that like I should have.
yeah.
I was on the tail end of that era. I remember I wasn't good enough to get sponsored. When I first started, it was like there was this one shop in my area, and the way to get on was send them a tape, and that just seemed impossible to me.
Yeah.
I'm there's no way I'm gonna ever actually do that.
Yeah, and this is my prime. And I'm going, I'm very scared to leave college and start skateboarding as a career, it was a very, very scary path.
Did you have struggles with your parents? Did they like
Yes.
didn't want you to skate at all? Were they against it?
They were not against skating, but they were against me. Okay, against is maybe a bit harsh. My mom is one of those people that's like, if that's what you want to do, honey, we'll support you. And my dad's the kind of guy who's like, you're a dumbass. Like,
I feel you on that part. My
you're a
grandfather wants to
dumbass?
whip my ass.
But if you're, like he's like, what am I gonna say here? Because then your mom's just gonna.
Yeah.
But like, he was like, sure, give it a shot. Now, of course, they're like, well, we're very proud of what you've built and blah blah blah.
That's crazy.
They come here, they're like, Aaron, what is occurring? I'm like, Dad, actually, honestly, I don't even know myself what is occurring. But yeah, so I'm there, and then I stopped getting boards from Habitat because the team manager was on a trip in Barcelona, and I couldn't reach him. It's like actually just as simple as that. But it was 6 months, and I was not getting boards. And then later, I did reach them, and then they were like, oh, we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. But in that time period, I was going to 3rd and Army, which is another very famous skate spot.
I know that one.
You know that one?
Yeah, the Tony Hawk game. Yes, I do. I went there and I couldn't do shit. It
is
kind of difficult.
It is one of the hardest. That's another thing about San Francisco, like coming from small town Montana to San Francisco, it's almost like the spots they are really difficult.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they're difficult in both areas.
Yeah. Yeah, difficult in both areas, but in Montana, it was like, oh, I made this box with this perfect angle iron, or I actually have in the back
I was
there.
over there cheating.
Yeah, have,
Chico.
That's all they had. They had no other option.
Yeah, before I left my hometown, I actually got a skate park built. I went to city council and I lobbied them, and I got city council to give me land and
shit.
$10,000. And then I wrote a grant and got another $10,000 and got a skate park built. And I put in the skate park was literally a slab of concrete with like a really bad metal pyramid, one of those ones that you order on the internet.
Yeah.
And then
Damn.
one bench, one butter bench, and one flat bar.
That's all you need sometimes.
And that was it. And now I actually have the butter bench. When they
for real?
ripped out the park and rebuilt it, which I helped them with that as well. But I actually have the butter bench back there. But I learned all my tricks on that butter bench, not learning them on the like 3rd and Army. Grinding 3rd and Army is like a whole. It is gnarly.
Yeah, it's chunky as hell, right? Or
It is
super rough.
very is so skated that like what should be a right angle is literally like this. And it's just, and that's why sometimes San Francisco skaters, they're raw.
Yeah, I'm like, what are y'all trying to prove in life? Going this damn fucking hard.
Like
They're very good.
the Clipper Hubba too.
Yeah.
That thing's so rounded.
The Clipper Hubba is so hard. I would never try a trick on that. And
Before
people
you
do
could-
crazy tricks.
My bad, but before you continue,
Yeah.
you said you got a skate park built over there, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Would you ever build another skate park out there now that you have all this success?
In Montana?
Yeah.
I did. Actually, I
you
got
did?
it rebuilt.
Oh shit.
So we ripped it down.
Oh my bad. I'm
Yeah.
this ain't the professional podcast. It's the Beautiful Day podcast.
It was actually just a couple years ago. They completely redid the park. Now it's this beautiful cement park with like it's pretty sick actually.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
Got to leave it there for the kids.
was that it? That's what's after that with the
Story?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to me struggling. I'm working at KB Toys, skating Pier 7 every day.
Nice.
And then I go to 3rd and Army, and there's a very well-known professional skateboarder there who also rides for Volcom. And the Volcom team manager told him, hey, there's another skater, Aaron, he's coming there, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm skating there with him. And then his name is Dennis Busenitz. And then he says,
hell yeah.
yeah,
That's fire.
shout out Dennis.
Hey, Lamont knows someone.
Dennis is
All right.
so sick, so sick. Prime example of like raw power street skateboarding, incredible. And then he's like, who are you getting boards from? And I'm like, well, I thought I was getting them from Habitat, but I haven't gotten a box for a really long time. And then he says, that's it, get in my car. And then I said, okay. And then I get in his car and he drives me into Deluxe. And then he says, they told me that I could put one person on the team and you're now on Real. And I was like, oh, it's just
You was
gotten
on
real.
everything.
That is.
What the fuck? I did not know that.
I
Yeah.
would have never suspected that story. That's
Same.
crazy.
What the fuck?
Very, very weird, very random.
You're told the majority of core skaters out there nowadays that Dennis Buznitz got you on reel, that would sound, I don't know, like no one would expect that. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people keep talking down on y'all names and shit, and they thinking y'all not core or whatever good at skating or something like that. We're going to speak on that, though, but continue.
Yeah, and you got to understand, like, this is in my prime.
Yeah.
I am like I'm 40 years old right now. I am not in my prime of skateboard life, but then, I was just the best that I was ever going to be, and I was skating 6 hours a day every day. Like, I was like, I am going to be a professional skateboarder no matter what happens. And I was, when, I would send in my sponsor me videos, then when I got on real Flow, and I'm on Flow, right?
Yeah.
Not like on the team, I'm not in the van, but I was trying, I would give them footage every month.
Damn.
And I was just stacking as much footage as I possibly can. And I'm filming for 2 video parts, one a video called Seasons, which I had a video part in, and another one called Mijos, which were these like local independent San Francisco videos.
Okay.
So those are super rad. And then what ended up happening then, this is probably like a year later, and I'm going into there every month and bringing footage and getting boards. And then I go in and there's a woman in there in a business suit. And I'm like, okay, something's going down.
Oh, shit.
This is not good. And then the team manager says, Aaron, we're super sorry. Nothing
Damn.
personal, but we have to let you go.
Oh, no.
And I said, like, let me go. And I'm like trying so hard to get on the team, like doing everything I can. And he just cut me. And I actually now, so many years later, I completely understand. Like, do I fit on real skateboards?
I was gonna say, I mean,
Hell no.
like, I'm not trying to discredit your skating. It's just like, yeah, you would do a bunch of manuals and stuff. That's like real is like, like you were talking about, like the raw, SF, NAR, super fast type.
Yeah, and this is the time period of like Peter Ramondetta. He's like nollie flipping over 14 stair handrails. And then I'm in there going, I did a kickflip manual tray flip. Put me on the team.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure, like, what, maybe like, I'm not sure what like a manual heavy type team would have been to get on.
Same. It was I would have been maybe Enjoy would have
Almost.
been.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
think almost
almost could have
existed
been.
yet.
Yeah, they
Damn.
did. Yeah.
What year was this?
Okay, so I graduated in 2002, went up there. So it was around 2004.
I think that's when it almost started.
Yeah, I think it was right around that prime time period of Chris Haslam. Shout out Chris Haslam. He's also from Vancouver, British Columbia.
I love
I
Chris
had
Haslam.
some skate sessions with that. That man is a monster.
I was obsessed with their videos.
Too.
Yes,
he?
and the nicest
Yeah,
guy.
he's super cool.
He is super cool. So looking back, I'm not an idiot. I can see I just never was going to fit on that team. And I can only imagine what the team manager thought. Like, oh, this kid. And I think they were almost just kept giving me boards out of respect for Dennis, which is cool too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Done that at least. Like, maybe just been like, hey, to be honest, like, we can't do anything with you, but we'll give you boards. May not completely cut you,
Oh yeah, but they cut a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
Like half of the entire team, the roster, when a skateboard company has to make cuts, they make cuts. And it's nothing, just like he said, it's nothing personal. But I feel like just in life, the hardest time period of a person's life is when they graduate high school and they're going through this period of what am I going to actually do in my life? And then until they find that thing, it's very difficult. And then I'm working at KB Toys, barely making my rent. Sometimes I can't afford food. I'm calling my mom saying, Mom, I haven't eaten in 2 days. Can you give me a pizza? Sure, I'll order you a pizza.
You feel embarrassed calling your mom?
You feel
doing
embarrassed
that?
calling your mom, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you're following your dream. It literally doesn't matter because you're like, I'm going to skateboard and that's what I'm doing. And like I said, if I didn't try that, I would have never let myself live that down. And I would always be wondering, could I have done it? If I just stayed in school and then just got some random job as a film editor or filmmaker, and then be sitting there, man, could I have made it as a skateboarder?
Probably pissed off too.
Yeah, pissed off at myself.
Yeah.
Nobody else I can blame there.
Yeah.
So I gave it everything. And then I get kicked off, and I literally was like, my entire life is over. That's how I felt.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Oh
And I was
my
like
God.
at the bottom, like rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. And then, but here's what happened. This is kind of the weird, wild part of the story.
Yeah.
Is I took all my footage that I was saving up and giving to them, and I put it on this new website that had just been created. I found out recently that it was about 19 days after the official creation of YouTube. And I dumped all the footage on there. This is the first video on my channel, by the way, that still exists. And it starts out with this song that I cut out the quote. It says, "When there's nothing left to burn, you have to set yourself on fire."
That sounds deep as hell and scary too.
Yeah, because I felt like I had given my everything I could to this, and I just literally lost everything, and I was losing I felt like I was losing my entire life, and it was over. And then the video starts out with that, my name, and then my video part. And you can watch the part. It's still there. And I consider this the best part I've ever made, and I consider it the best part I will ever make. Unfortunately.
I remember, because I'm from New Jersey, and I grew up there, and I would just watch random video. Before YouTube, it was like LimeWire or something. I'd download videos off. And I forget where I saw it, but it was around that time. I remember I did see that part when it first came out, and I was like, holy crap, this is insane. Who is this guy doing all these? Because I was like, I'm into like techie skating too,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, these manuals, I've like never seen anyone do this type of stuff before. It's pretty interesting. And then I don't know. After that, I think, like you said, like that was, I don't know how many video parts you have, but then I saw that part, and then I feel like I didn't hear your name for a while. I'm like,
Yes.
And then one day I was like, I wonder what happened to that guy. And
Yep.
then now,
This what happened. This what the fuck happened. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I
Go
put
ahead.
that video on there, and then you guess who reposted it?
Ooh.
Thrasher. Thrasher reposted it. It was
Why
the
am I so shocked by this?
it was on their front page, and it did, I think, a lot of help because of Thrasher magazine did that repost, and then it did like 50,000 views, 100,000, 150, and I think it hit it like maybe 300,000, and I was like, random kid from Montana with no sponsors. I just got kicked off, and I'm like, what is happening? But I didn't get new sponsors from that. I didn't get any money from that. YouTube was not monetized. Nothing. And then a couple years went by. I was still skating. I got on Bueno skateboards. I was skating for them for a little while, and then very similar thing. One day they just stopped sending me boxes. Hey, anybody there? And it's just no.
The disrespect. Like,
It
I can't even just say
happens.
shit.
And
I mean, I
I
guess.
honestly I don't even blame them. I go, okay, I get it. Like, and now that I run a company, I don't want to do that to anybody. I don't try to do that at all. In fact, I try to do the opposite of like, I want to give people the opportunity that I feel like I was never really given. That's the whole like different, like later on type situation.
Okay.
But yeah, that was what happened. And then that video did really well. And then later on, I was like, one of my friends said, do you know that you can make money on YouTube? And I said, hold up.
Hold up.
What? You make what? How does that work? And they said, yeah, there's this new thing called AdSense. I said, AdSense? I mean, I only made one video. It has 350,000 views. Can't be that hard. And then I just started making videos.
What was the pay like back then with the ads and stuff like that?
Yeah. So remember, I'm like very, very hardcore of like, I have a goal. I'm going for this. So then I was like, I'm going to make a career out of YouTube. So I made a video every week, and then I moved it to 2 times a week, 3 times a week, very, very
Going
strict.
crazy. Yeah.
And it took me, the way you get paid on YouTube is that you don't get a check unless you make $100.
Yeah.
Is it still that way?
Yeah. From what I know.
Yeah.
Unless they lowered it to 50. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it took me one entire year of working as hard as I possibly could, making videos and grinding to make $100.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That much?
That much. Yeah. It took me a full
You
year.
posting like 3 times a week?
It might have been once a week.
Yeah.
And I had footage. So they were like, clip of the week, and like here's this shot that I had already had in my archive of footage, and I just put it up.
So so the RPM was probably super low or something.
And now that I know all about how YouTube works, I would never do this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. You would just be like killing your channel right away.
Yeah.
But back then, I don't know if anybody knew how YouTube worked or if it even had a way that it worked. You just put up videos.
Damn.
But basically it was a year straight. And then I made how to kickflip the easiest way tutorial. And then that did 1 million views. And then I was like, hold up. And then I realized I had this really big like epiphany where I realized I love teaching. I'm good at it. I can overly explain and I can explain the steps quite well. And there's nobody out there who's making good tutorial videos. In fact, Donovan, I'm pretty sure it was Donovan, he made this video that was like making fun of tutorial videos. He was like, imagine you're trying to make spaghetti and they say, put it in a bowl and then throw in the noodles and then throw it down some stairs. And he literally takes a bowl of spaghetti with noodles and he throws it downstairs and it shatters. But that's what it was like. It was almost like the people were trying to show off their skating just to do the trick downstairs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that.
It was a thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So then here I come along like, here's a practice step. You can keep on trying it as many times as you want to. And then I developed that as a system. And I just went hard in on, I'm going to make the best tutorials in the world. And that's what actually like started me.
That's amazing. What the hell? You say you told that story before?
Yeah.
I never even knew it. That's amazing. Sorry, y'all, if you already heard the story, but I was very interested in it.
Yeah, on my channel, I try to tell the story at least once a year, and then people go, Aaron, you've made the same video 5 times. Aaron, why do you keep telling this? But sometimes I feel like I'm making it for me because sometimes things get so crazy, and I have to remember, why am I doing this?
True.
Where you came from.
Yeah.
When did you know like Braille was going to be successful?
It's funny. I feel like, I guess I don't really consider Braille as like this big successful thing. I know that it is. I'm not like silly, but I pour my blood, sweat, and tears into this, and I just keep pushing. And running a business is hard. It is hard work. But yes, have we had some success? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was it ever like not hard work? No, it's been hard the whole time. I mean, we've been making a daily video for so long. I just recently, last week, stopped the daily video.
Damn, why?
Yeah, why is that?
It's too
much?
I think YouTube is actually penalizing daily video at this point.
Oh, for real?
I think so. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's many people out there that can say, well, we have this study, that study, whatever. But especially for me, because what I really want to do, what I'm trying to do right now, is cut back on just like pure. I felt like we get to this place where we're making a video just to make a video. We're not making a video because we love it. We're not making a video because we're trying to tell this great story. But that's where I started. I started with like, oh, let me try and make the best tutorial video I could possibly make. And now, like, it's been a couple years of like, let me just make a video because for Tuesday there's no video and we need one. And I feel like that killed my audience. It killed the spirit kind of left. See what I mean?
I always say quality over quantity.
It's just hard for me to like, I don't know. Nowadays I feel like, and people are going to be mad in the comments.
Always.
I feel like quantity is the new quality when it comes to social media nowadays.
Yeah.
I just truly feel that. Not saying don't really put in effort into the videos, but figure out a balance where you could keep pumping them out. But hey, you know more than me. You got 5 million or how many subscribers now?
5.8 million.
Crazy. Fucking crazy.
But yeah, go ahead.
That's like how many he had on TikTok.
TikTok before they freaking banned me and ruined my life.
Shout out Lamont Hole 111 family.
111.
Yeah, we all had that ruined life moment.
Yeah. But
did you let me ask you from your
go ahead.
perspective, like you had 5 million subscribers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Were you like, damn, I'm successful?
I felt like,
what was it like for you?
I felt like you gotta understand, like I've been working my ass off, trying to figure it out, what could really, get me this money and help, support my family and all that. And I finally figured it out when it came to social media. Yeah. Quickly too. Technically, when it came to what I figured out, I was happy. I felt like this big weight off my shoulders, and my girl was happy. Everybody was smiling. We was making some money. Ain't had to worry about nothing like that. And then it just got snatched. Just got deleted because of a damn parrot video.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of depressing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It happened in September 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I completely understand.
Yeah.
You see?
And
I agree with you, like, on what you were doing. Clearly it worked. And that's the thing about social media, or really any job anywhere. If it's working, do it.
Yeah.
And keep it going.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time when we were doing a daily video, and the daily video was the thing to do, and it was going.
Yeah.
We were growing. And then we're doing a daily video and we're shrinking. Like, wait a sec, now it's not working anymore. So clearly something has to change. And then I was a little bit stubborn about it, like, nah, it's just a time period. We'll go through it. We're going to keep pushing. And then we were pushing. And these videos are not cheap to make. I pay every person who comes to the Braille House and film a video.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk on that. So how much does it cost you to make, if you don't mind, get a video out?